You're listening to Spirit Radio. Well, we're in for a bit of a treat this morning. We've got in studio a singer-songwriter, but also a friend of the station, Joe Dunne. He's going to perform some live music for us. He's going to be performing his own original song titled The Family. Very appropriately themed song for the week that's in it, with the World Meeting of Families taking place. But in studio now to tell us more and perform some music, Joe, you're very welcome.
Thank you so much, Rob. It's a delight to be here. It's taken me a long time to get into this studio, but I know once or twice I rang in to donate some money to the studio, and I think you copped onto my voice. You said, would you mind if we interviewed you? So you did, and now I'm just here back to do this song, you know. So the song is called The Family. Yeah,
well, tell me a wee bit more about yourself, though, Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a singer-songwriter. You're from a family of musicians.
I am indeed, yeah. I've been in the music business for nearly over 30 years now. I started playing as a young child, and I've played with quite a lot of people, well-known and not so well-known people around the world. I've been kind of under the radar for the last too many years, maybe, and maybe it's time to sort of put my head above the parapet. So I played with a lot of people, you know, too many to name. Tom Moore was a famous songwriter that wrote a lot of songs for Mary Black and Maura O'Connell. I spent a lot of time singing with that man. I've played with countless people, so I mix a lot of my own songs that I write and folk music and Irish music. So it's that pot of creativity and all the fantastic musicians that I love to play with. You know?
And you play a few different instruments.
Instruments, yeah. It's one part of my life that definitely functions as music, I think. And I play the guitar, I play the bouzouki, I play the whistle, I play the mandolin, anything with strings, the banjo a little bit.
What's just the bouzouki?
Bouzouki actually comes from Greece. It was an instrument brought over by Johnny Moynihan, who I actually used to play with as well one time.
Okay.
And it was brought over to Ireland in the late 60s, and it's a Greek instrument with 8 strings on it. So it's a Greek bouzouki player. You'd often hear that, you know.
And it's the same sort of, breakdown of the music structure. It's just
it is, yeah. Only it's a much more tremolo effect, you know. It's very bright, sparkly. Donald Lunny, that played with Christy Moore for years and years, he's a bouzouki player.
Okay.
So, you know, it's made its way into Irish music now at this stage. You know?
Now, music's always been a part of your life. Your brothers were musicians?
Well, my brothers were, yes, and one of them is a poet and a journalist, and the other, unfortunately, he's not with me anymore. But so yeah, we have a big music background in our family. My mother's family was from County Kilkenny, and there's a lot of music in her house as a child. There's a music line. My father, God rest him, he was a drummer. And then my older brothers brought me when I was very young to the National Stadium here in Dublin, which was the premier venue at the time. It was the boxing stadium for international acts. So I would have met Harry Chapin, the famous man who wrote Cats in the Cradle. I actually met his brother only just a few months ago, after all those years, because Harry Chapin killed in a car crash a long time ago. So I saw a lot of international acts when I was very young, and then I was sort of led by the Spirit and I ended up playing, as well as playing in the secular world, I play in churches as well. So I've got the both going on there. You know.
Yeah, very good. Now tell us about the history of the song you're going to do this morning. Give us the background to writing this song.
Yeah, okay. So, the actual song came from a visit I paid to a cousin of mine in County Kilkenny. Bridie O'Reilly is her name.
Okay.
So basically what happened is, many years ago, my own father was killed in a car crash. So there would have been and after that, unfortunately, there was a lot more tragedy in the family to follow. But this particular beautiful cousin of mine gave my mother quite an amount of money on the night of my father's funeral, which I never forgot. It was a very practical thing to do. So, in the course, I went down to her house about 3 years ago, and this is before the Pope came, or the family thing, and I had a chat with her, and we had a very emotional conversation, myself and my cousin and my wife and my daughter was there, and you know, she said to me, and there was a few tears shed. She said, "You know what, Joe? No matter what, at the end of the day, no matter how messed up your family might be, it's still your family." And about a week later, I was doing a bit of hoovering, of all things. Right? Hoovering, and
it was that time of year, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. My wife doing the hoovering. It's Saturday. I'd had enough of the hoovering. In fact, I've written some of my best songs when I'm hoovering, because after about 10 minutes of that, I go, I've had enough of this. So I went inside, and literally within 3 to 4 minutes, I had the whole song downloaded to me, the verse, the chorus, everything. I didn't change one iota. So it, you know,
the conversation that you had with Bridie kind of sparked
the whole thing.
Boom, it just came together.
And then I started doing it a little bit. I did it in the Aran Islands. I met Matt Keane. He'd be the brother of Dolores Keane and John Keane, the singer. I know Matt from years ago, and he heard the song, and I sang it on the Aran Islands this year, and had a big impact on the island. So I went, and he said, you better do something about this. So he's trying to push it in Galway and on the radio stations there. And then I sang it recently in the church there's a bishop over from Nigeria, from the Yola district.
Okay.
Bishop Stephen, and I sang it, and I didn't mean this to happen. I didn't want it to happen, but actually the whole church, they broke into spontaneous applause.
Is that right?
So I said, oh God, there's something strange going on here. So that was the kind of how I ended up coming out here to yourselves, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, you know, on the surface, a lot of our families can, you know, look all the right shape and all the rest of it, but scratch the surface, and you know, we all have our challenges and troubles and you know, awkward bits and all the rest of it. Yeah.
So I think that's why it's resonating with people out there, you know. And I mean, there's been an awful lot of tragedy in my own family, so I kind of have a little bit of an understanding of that tragedy, but also the joy of family as well. But so I think that's why the song is resonating with people quite a lot, you know, because everybody seems to go, well, sure, we're all broken, you know. I mean, there's no perfect family. If you know of one, can I join it? You know?
Exactly.
I don't know any myself personally speaking.
Neither do I.
You know, so that's the background of the song.
Look, it's very timely with, you know, this being the meeting, World Meeting of Families Week, you know, and a lot of talk about the family. So look, give us the song now, Joe.
Look, it's no problem. We'd be delighted to, yeah. So here we go, The Family. The long and short of it, the tale too long to tell, is it's always been about the family. Poor families hit by suicide, drink, drugs, run, gunshot ride. Oh, they've shattered, oh, they've scattered all the poor little family. Since man dwelt in the cave, he's always been a slave to the love, to the love, to the love of the family. And in this world we dwell, you know, things don't seem too well, but if we pull together like a little family, we'll mend these broken walls, we'll walk like wise men tall, if we just give a little chance, oh, a little chance to the family. Since man dwelt in the cave, he's always been a slave to the love, to the love, to the love of the family. Your insane relative, your father who left before you were a little child, you didn't even have a chance to say goodbye. And your poor old mother dear, she dragged you by the ear through the gutter and the mud because she loved you. Since man dwelt in the cave, he's always been a slave to the love of the family. No matter how bruised it is, no matter how used it is, at the end of the day, you know, it's still your little family. And when we leave this world, with all its toils and tears, they'll be there, they'll be there, they'll be there, they'll be there to greet you. We'll meet again at brighter land, we'll clasp each other hand in hand. Oh, you and me, and you and me, you and me, and you and me, and your family. Since man dwelt in the cave, He's always been a slave to the love, to the love, to the love. Since man dwelt in the cave, he's always been a slave to the love, to the love, to the love of the family. We'll meet again in a brighter land. We'll clasp each other hand in hand. Oh, you and me and you and me, you and me and you and me and your family.
Well, thanks very much, Joe. Thank you. That's a very moving song indeed. I'm just listening to it, and it's bringing back a few memories of my own family. I kind of remember on a Saturday night there for a season when my life was going in a bit of a strange direction, and my mother sort of somehow conned me into taking the rest of the kids up in the big station wagon that we had up to the local monastery for an evening of prayer, and that was kind of one way that she sort of kept me on the straight and narrow. And a part of the bait that she used was I got to drive the big family V8. It was a big Ford V8, and I'm just thinking, some of that family stuff that goes on, some of that history, happy memories, sometimes difficult memories, but you've really put your finger on something with that song. Thank you for sharing that.
And I often think, even my own mother passed away. I mean, I had millions of conversations with my mother, but the times that we'd maybe said a simple prayer on the way down the country, she'd say, now we'll say a prayer now for the safe journey, to protect us from the dinosaurs, and and that's the moments I remember with my mother. I don't remember the time I went down to the shop and bought her a sliced pan or some lamb chops, but they're the moments, and the spiritual stuff is important.
And she was passing something on. She was underlining something.
Thank God,
Joe, you've got an upcoming performance fairly shortly.
Yeah, I do indeed. Actually, tomorrow night I'm playing in McLaughlin's Bar in Dunleary, which is my residency in Dunleary. It's down near the People's Park. I'm there every Thursday night, and it's a benefit night for a barman down there, Pat, a beautiful person who has cancer, and a young wife and young child. So we're raising funds for him tomorrow night. And then on Friday night I'm playing in the DC Club in Camden Row in Camden Street, and I'm guesting with John Spillane, who's a fairly well-known Irish singer and songwriter as well. So that's Friday. And then I was meant to come in here at a later stage when my next album is nearly ready in a few months, but looks like I ended up in here before ahead of schedule. So maybe we'll come into you again.
We'll see you again. We sure will. Joe, listen, thanks very much for joining us today. Terrific to have you here. Love the song. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more of it. So thanks very much. Okay, this is My Feet Are on the Rock. This is